All right, so everybody wants to work out, everybody wants to go to the gym, everybody wants to use a hashtag soldier, and stuff like this, and that's fun and great, and we all like to do selfies at the gym. But I'm going to tell you what, people, your nutrition, not diet. Diet, that's a bad word. That's like a curse word. I hate the word diet. Diet is something that you do like one time, and then like so you can lose weight for a wedding, or so that you can have a beach bod or something like that. I want to talk about your nutrition. I'm not interested in your diet. Your nutrition is the fuel that you put in this machine. It's the fuel that you feed your temple each day so that you can live and work. So we're going to talk about a few things, okay? We're going to talk about macronutrients. Macronutrients are going to be, and how crazy is this? Big guy in the gym, deep voice, whatever, talking about protein. Yes, we're going to talk about protein. Protein is a macronutrient, 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, equals 4 kilocalories. You need to know that, all right? Because this is what we're going to build some basic blocks, some building blocks here for you to establish a meal plan for yourself. I love these guys who want to charge you $150 a month to do some online coaching and meal plans and stuff. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, I'm going to give you what they do for you so that you can do for yourself. Because I would rather teach you to fish, you're going to eat some of it too, than sell you a fish. You understand what I'm saying? Here we go. All right, so 1 gram of protein equals 4 kilocalories. All right, next, carbs, the beloved carbs. How many of you love some chocolate cake? Carbs, it's the same way. 1 gram of carbohydrates equals 4 kilocalories. See what I'm saying here? All right, next up, fat. Oh, stay away from fat. We can't eat fat. Atkins diet, Fatkins diet, whatever. Fat. Fat's actually a good thing for you because you know what? You know what surrounds your heart? You know what your heart actually feeds off of? Your heart uses fuel for fat. But wait, John, I went to the doctor and he told me my triglycerides were high. That means the parts per million of fat in your body is more than what it should be. No, we're going to talk about some healthy fat. We're going to talk about essential fatty acids and different things like that. And just real quick, essential fatty acids, that's going to be stuff that comes from avocado. That's going to be stuff that comes from like salmon and things like that. So the essential fatty acids, all right? Even peanuts, not peanut butter, like natural organic peanut butter, sure, that's fine. But like peanuts, eating peanuts and nuts and almonds and stuff like that, that's actually the kind of fat that your heart is going to thank you for, okay? It's going to be like, yay, you gave me good stuff to eat today. All right, so fat is different than these two. 1 gram of fat equals 9 kilocalories, okay? 1 gram of fat, 9 kilocalories. So what does this got to do with you and your body? Well, here's what it has to do. I think 1 pound equals, let's put this here, I think 1 pound, like 1 pound of body fat or whatever, equals 3,500 kilocalories. Okay, 3,500 calories. So if you want to lose a pound a week, which is not an unrealistic goal, you need to have a deficit of 3,500 calories of what your normal eating routine is. All right. So let's switch gears for a minute and let's go over here to the pink page. So let's talk about this. Those of you who you're wanting to get in better shape, you're wanting to lose some of that body fat, you're probably asking, okay, how do I lose the body fat? How do I do that? Keep these things in mind, all right? Keep these in mind. Here's how you do it, guys. I'm going to try to squeeze a lot of content into a very short period of time. So here we go. Take out a pen and paper, hit pause and stop if you need to. When you only eat, some people think, well, I need to fast all the time. I only eat 1 meal a day. Why am I staying heavy? Here's why you're staying heavy. When you only eat 1 time a day, you're telling your body, oh, I'm starving. So your body is going to store all that reserved energy in the places that you store fat. For example, for me, I store fat in my back. I store it around my waistline. Most men do. Women mostly store fat in their butt, their hips, their legs, places like that. Most men here. We call it stress fat. So you've got to get your eating down to a routine. Your body is going to thank you. Your body is going to begin to respond to you and reward you when you get it on a consistent cycle. So let's just take, I'll take me for example, okay? Me for example. Right now, this morning, I weighed 240 I weigh, let's just say 200, I weigh 243, but let's just say 240 pounds, all right? I'm a 240 pound guy. So remember, we can adjust these things up or down depending if we want to gain or lose. So we can make those adjustments along the way, and we're gonna talk about how these work and at which different times these work. So guys, I eat continually, okay? I eat all the time. And sometimes my wife's like, how do you eat what you eat and you stay lean? Because you eat all the time. That's part of why, because my body, my metabolism is up because I'm always processing, I'm always burning food, I'm always using that fuel, I'm always processing. My body is actually warmer. It's a warmer core temperature because my metabolic rate is higher because I eat consistently. So you need to kind of graze. I get it, guys. There are days when our workload is stressful and where we can't eat, on this regular cycle. I'll tell you what you can do. You can keep a bottle of protein or something like that nearby. You can keep a healthy snack or something like that nearby, and you can graze on it throughout the day. You can totally do that. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a 240 pound guy. So here's where I am on these things. Because I want to stay muscular, because I want to stay bigger and full and thick, and I work out and stuff, and I enjoy that, hence these videos, then kind of a rule of thumb is that guys who want to stay muscular and be muscular, you're going to get anywhere between 1 and some people's going to argue with me on this. I don't care. I've done it for me, and for me it works. You're going to get between anywhere from 1 to 2.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight, okay? Per pound of body weight. So do the math on me. So I weigh 240 pounds, all right? So I'm gonna get between 240 grams of protein and 480, sometimes 520 or so grams of protein a day, all right? Don't be alarmed, the air just came on, it's all good, the world ain't coming to an end. That was that loud noise a second ago. All right, next, what about carbohydrates? Let me write this in so you can see it. What about carbohydrates? Carbs are of the devil, Bobby Boucher. We don't want to eat carbs because I'm going to get no carbs. Now listen, it's the kind of carbs that you eat, okay? If you go and eat a sweet potato or some brown rice or some couscous, I don't know if I said that right, or some, what's another one? If you eat some broccoli or some asparagus or stuff like that, guys, those are good carbs. Those are healthy carbs. Those are carbs that you want to have. And also, guys, I'm just going to tell you, if you're eating this much protein a day, you better get some fiber in your system from some broccoli or from some asparagus, or you're going to be one unhappy camper when it comes time to go to the restroom. You hear what I'm saying? So here, with the carb ratio, the breakdown on that, it's going to be a little different. Carbs, I want to get anywhere between, and we're gonna do kind of deficit carb on this because I realize that some of you guys are maybe wanting to shed a few pounds. So here's what we'll do. So we'll go between 1/2 and 1.5 gram carb per day. Per pound of body fat per day. So a half to 1.5, so that's going to be, so I'm going to want anywhere between 120 grams of carbs and 200 and what's a half of, so 360 grams of carbs per day. And I realize that's that one right there is a little on the high side, but when you're working out and you're training intense and stuff, you actually need those healthy carbs because it's the carbs that actually help build the muscles. It's what helps stimulate the growth. Yes, protein is the building blocks, but just carbs are the things that carries everything through your system efficiently and effectively. I'm not talking about carbs that comes from simple sugars, okay? We're not talking about, just packs of sugar and things like that. We're talking about healthy carbs. We're talking about complex carbohydrates, things that come from like sweet potatoes, broccoli, asparagus, things like that, okay? The healthy, the good stuff, okay? That kind of stuff, the natural, the whole, the organic. All right, next thing, fat. How do we want to do on fat? Fat's going to be the exact same thing. We're going to use the exact same principle on fat as we did carbohydrates. We want between 1/2 gram or half of our pounds per body weight to 1.5 grams of fat per day, or per pound of body weight per day. So again, the numbers are the same. I'm going to get between 120 grams to 360 grams of fat in my system per day. And you're saying, John, good grief, what's that coming from? Look, boneless, skinless, lean chicken still has some fat in it. I like steak. I love red meat, okay? That has fat in it. Those things like that, I will enjoy that. Other things, again, we're talking about almonds, peanuts, cashews are the best when it comes to the nuts. Things like that. Those are going to be your great sources of fat, different things like that. You want these in your system. Now, let's talk a little bit about timing. And look, everybody's going to have to figure this part out for themselves, but the simple rule on timing, you know what, before we do that, let's do this. Let's do the math on this, guys. So let's use this little calculator right here. Alexis, help me with some math right quick, because she's sitting over here, y'all just can't see her. Help me with some math. So if I get 240 times 4, that's 1,216, that's 1,360. So that's 1,360 calories, because remember, 1 gram equals 4 calories. So that's 1,360 calories of protein per day. What is it on carbs? 120 times 4. 480, 480 grams per day. This is how I figure out my consumption. This is how I figure out intake, all right? This is how I figure it out. So that's 480 calories of carbs per day. All right, what about fat? Remember, fat's more. So Alexis, 120 times 9. It's 900, 9 times 2 is 18. So what is that, 1180? 1180? Yeah, 1180. 1080. Correct me there. So 1080. So do the math on this. 1360 plus 480 plus 1080. 1360 plus 400, that's 1840. Yeah, 1840 plus 1080 is 28, 29. Do 1740 plus 1080. Sorry guys, I can only do so much math in my head at one time. And then my brain starts to fry. So you do the math on there, and that gives you my total, what is it? 2820. So for me, to maintain this size, I need to get 2,820 calories per day. Now, I usually eat right around that. In busy seasons, and for me, busy seasons tends to be the springtime. It's when the sun's coming back in, and the days are getting warmer. My workload's picking up. That's just for me, it's the circadian cycle, the rhythm of life. I actually tend to eat a little less than that, and it's really kind of neat because I lean out a little bit for the summer months. And in the winter months, I tend to slow down a little bit. Everything's in place, system and processes are done for that school year, that work year, and then we move along. The planning's done, and then there. So 2880, but I will tell you what I'll do. I will have seasons, guys, where I will stay on the high side, and you can double that. You can essentially double that number, in some cases more than double that. So I'm eating more than 6,000 calories a day during the growing season. So those of you guys who want to grow, that's how you get there. Okay, timing. And we're going to end this video on timing because this is a little longer than what I wanted to spend on it, and it's time for some sushi, people, okay? So timing. So when should I eat these things? Guys, I'm going to tell you. Here's how the timing works, okay? I can't add and I can't spell. I'm showing off my flaws here. This is how the timing works. You're going to want to eat every 2.5 to 3.5 hours. Your body likes routine. This is going to put you eating around 6 times a day. What do I want to eat? Well, here's what you want to eat. Take these numbers from these basic steps for you. What is your weight? Figure out, do I want to gain weight? Do I want to lose weight? What is your weight? And then do the math on it. Do the math, create your own meal plan. 8 ounces of chicken is around 45 grams of protein, okay? A sweet potato that weighs 200 grams, if you have a scale, a sweet potato that weighs 200 grams, that's a decent sized sweet potato. That's around 40 to 50 grams of carbohydrates, depending on whether or not it's like completely organic or not. You know what I'm saying? So work these things out for yourself, putting a lot on you here to just think through and figure out what you need to eat. On timing. You want something quick when you're first out of bed. A good healthy carb's not bad. How about before bed? Some of you guys, I don't need to eat before bed. I'm going to tell you what, you absolutely need to eat something lean, like lean chicken breast, a piece of fish, even a piece of steak ain't going to kill you. If you're in a hurry and you don't have anything made, how about some eggs, like 5 or 6 eggs? Not a bad thing to eat. Here's why. You're going to sleep anywhere if you get the proper amount of sleep so that you can grow and replenish, and that's a whole different video. You're going to sleep between, guys, you know what, 5 and 7, 5.5, 7.5 hours of sleep a night. You're going to go 5.5 to 7.5 hours without eating. Your body's going to be in that fasting state. So here's what can happen if you don't have any food in your system. If you don't have a lean, healthy, nutritious source of fuel in your system, then your body starts going to the easiest thing that it can break down. It goes into a state of what's called catabolism. It's where your body turns on itself and begins to eat lean muscle. So that's why you want that good, solid source that's hard to burn up quickly, like a healthy fat, like from eggs and stuff, and egg whites, yolks, the whole thing, I eat them. That's why you want that in your system. And guys, I'm going to tell you what, you will actually wake up more lean the next morning. Now, I stay away from carbs at night, any carbs at bedtime. I just eat fats or proteins. You'll wake up more lean the next morning than when you went to bed and in the morning before. So guys, there we go. Quick recap. We hit the building blocks. We hit how to get there. We hit for you creating your own plan, okay? Building blocks, how to get there, and timing. So 3 things. Building blocks, write this down, do a little screenshot. How to get there, zoom in, write it down, and then timing. When should you eat? Out of bed, 3 hours later, 3 hours later, so on and so forth. Cool? Guys, I love you. That's why I'm taking the time to do this. And listen, I wish you the best, and man, I hope that you can live. Here's the thing. You're going to see a couple of video clips after this one, or maybe in queue or something like that. I do this so that I can show up for my wife and so that I can show up for my kids. Because when I feel good about myself, when I can be in that state where I'm content with the reflection that's looking back at the mirror from me, then I bring that confidence to my wife, to my children. I instill that confidence in my wife. I instill that confidence into my children. And guys, that's why we do it. Here's the bottom line, guys. You get what you go after. You get what you go after. You get what you settle for. Okay? You get what you go after. You get what you settle for. Till next time.
He resonated with the students. The students followed him every movement back and forth throughout the auditorium.
I think John is an inspirational legend.
And the same desire and aspiration that's inside of me is inside of every one of you.
His story is one worth telling. It's one worth listening to.
It's the greatest of all time, sitting somewhere in the sand. And I can't wait to see it happen.